Okay, apparently, ladies and gentlemen, the website has been changed to don'tfundobamacare.com. Well, I'm plugging that in. Let me see if what pops up. Don'tfundobamacare.com. That doesn't, I don't know. That's not pulling anything up for me either. Well, hear me check. Let's see if this does anything for me. Yeah, here it is. Don't fund it. It's don'tfundobamacare.com, and I'm up there now. I'm looking at the Don't Fund It website, but you get to it. Apparently, you can't get to it anymore by using Don't Fund It. That's how I got to it this morning. So it's don'tfundobamacare.com. Don't fund, and no apostrophe, remember. Don'tfundobamacare.com. That works. Plugged it in. I'm looking right at it. Got 84,077 signatures on that website right now. Be sure and add yours to the list. Don'tfundobamacare.com. So here's an opportunity to make your voice heard. I mean, if there's enough signatures on this thing, you know, they've got to pay attention up there, and there'll be some media attention as the numbers grow on this petition. So go to don'tfundobamacare.com. Add your signature to the list. You got to use a valid email address because they send you a confirmation thing back. But don'tfundobamacare.com. Back to the Anthony Weiner thing. Clip number 3, this is Andrea Mitchell. And, of course, the left is very distressed over how this is going to reflect on Hillary Clinton because they want her desperately to be the candidate in 2016. And this is bad for her because it's reminding everybody of Bill Clinton's foibles. It's reminding her of her Tammy Wynette Stand By Your Man thing. It's bringing all that up. It's resurfacing all of that. It's making everybody talk about it, everybody think about it. And this is bad for her. And Andrea Mitchell, again, the left, they're in the hip pocket of the Hillary Clinton campaign. They're basically the press office for the Hillary Clinton campaign. So here's Andrea Mitchell. You can almost see her wringing her hands as she talks about how distressed she is for Hillary Clinton.
Where are the Clintons on all this? How do they feel about Weiner and this continued campaign?
This is terribly painful from people close to the Clintons, friends of both. They care deeply about Huma, but this is getting to the point where it is really splashing up against the Clintons because it's almost unavoidable that people have been making comparisons to the way Hillary Clinton handled Bill Clinton's difficulties in the 1992 campaign. And it's just only going to reach a further point if he stays in this race. So they are not at all happy. They are loyal to Huma. But at this point, even some friends, mutual friends, are saying, why is she letting this happen to Hillary Clinton, her longtime mentor?
You know, and Anthony Weiner was asked about stepping down because the Clintons are critical. He says, I don't care what they think. They don't vote in New York. Doesn't matter to me what they think. They don't live in New York City. They're not voting. I could care less what they think. Now, Elliot Spitzer, clip 4, this guy's another Democrat. You talk about a war against women. You talk about a war on women. You got the mayor of San Diego. He's a Democrat, sexually assaulting 7 women. You've got Anthony Weiner. He's a Democrat, what he's done to Huma Abedin. And you've got Elliot Spitzer. He's the one that had all the dalliances with the prostitutes. He's a Democrat. Talk about a war on women. That's where it is. It's in the Democratic Party. Anyway, Elliot Spitzer now, he is looking self-righteously down on Anthony Weiner, and he's saying this guy is not qualified for public office. Let's listen.
You're not going to vote for Anthony Weiner. Can you just say that now? You don't think he should be mayor of New York?
Fair point. That is correct.
He should not be mayor of New York.
That is correct.
So he says he shouldn't be mayor of New York. That is correct. And, you know, Matthews asked him if he used city equipment to engage in the kind of behavior that he did, would you fire him? And Spitzer says, yeah, I'd dump him out on the street. Now, Peggy Noonan, this is clip 5. Peggy Noonan, she made an observation that, you know, at every point in a presidency, people start to tune out. They just stop listening. I mean, I got to the point, I'll be honest with you, when Bill Clinton was president, I got to the point where I just couldn't watch the guy. I could not listen to the guy. I could not watch the State of the Union speech. I couldn't watch a press conference. I just couldn't listen to him. And eventually every president gets to the point where people just start tuning him out. And what Peggy Noonan is saying here, it's happened in record time with Barack Obama.
Yeah, I think that's true. When the White House calls it a pivot, somebody counted up and said it's probably the 10th pivot to the economy the president has done since he came in. I noticed that in one of the speeches it went over an hour. There was a heck of a lot jammed in. That told me something. It said, we're not sure exactly what to say, so we're going to say everything, but a speech about everything is a speech about nothing. Beyond that, I think every president in the intense media environment we have now, certainly every two-term president, gets to a point where the American people stop listening, stop leaning forward hungrily for information. I think this president got there earlier than most presidents, and I think he's in that time now.
You know, that's a true fact. I mean, I read so many liberal analyses of his speech in Illinois, and everybody said, you know, even Chuck Todd said, look, he's not going to say anything new. There's nothing new here. This is a deja pivot. And then after the speech was given, Chuck Todd said he didn't say anything new. So even the media is tired of listening to Barack Obama. Number of signatures up to 84,312 now. We've got the link on the Focal Point Facebook page. So if you want to get the link to don'tfundobamacare.com, don'tfundobamacare.com, add your signature to the petition. You can go to our Focal Point Facebook page, and we've got the link embedded right there. Jeff did that for us here just moments ago. Well, let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Don in Blanchard, Oklahoma. Don, welcome. What's on your mind?
Oh, I just got off the phone with Colburn's office, and they told me that he wasn't backing this.
He's not?
And that he's not backing it. He said that there's no way that you can defund it. There's not a. I asked her point blank. I said, are they planning on funding it this session, or where are they getting the money at? There's no votes. Is what they're telling me is there's no votes for any funding whatsoever for Obamacare.
Well, and I'll tell you, Don, I'll tell you what this is doing. This is separating out the citizen class Republicans from the ruling class Republicans. I mean, we are sifting out the sheep from the goats here, the guys that, and we're finding out who are the people are that are fighters. We're finding out who the people are that are willing to go to the mattresses in order to get this thing done. And those are the people that are willing to fight. I have tremendous respect for Senator Coburn, but he's just cashed in his chips on this. He's just given up. There's no fight left in him.
No, there isn't. There's no fight left in him. He's not backing us.
Yeah, because here's the deal with Senator Coburn. Again, I have tremendous, he's been a guest in this program a lot. I have tremendous admiration for him. But he's got an opportunity to vote on, by September 30, either to fund Obamacare or not. I mean, that's a choice. It's a vote. He's gonna make that vote one, and he's just told you he's gonna vote to fund Obamacare.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's done. He said that, well, they just told me there is no vote coming up for it, so he would repeal it, but he wouldn't defund it.
Yeah. All right, Don. Listen, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for that. The reality is, defunding is something that can be done. Repealing it right now can't be done, not with the Democratic president, not with Harry Reid in charge of the Senate. You can't repeal it. It's not going to happen. Politically, it's not going to happen. But you can defund it because funding has to be approved. I mean, there's nothing for the president to sign unless there's something sent to him by Congress. If they just don't send him a resolution that funds Obamacare, it doesn't get funded. I mean, it's that simple. All right, let's go to Judy, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Judy, welcome. What's on your mind? Jody, I'm sorry. Jody, are you with me?
It's Joey.
Joey, okay, my bad. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
That's okay, man. You had a comment earlier in the last segment about a guy from New Zealand that was overweight and they threatened to deport him because they don't want to pay for health costs or whatever associated with it. And you made a comment, and I totally agree with you. Avid listener, focal point, addicted to it. You made a comment about how in the free market, or what he'd have to do is just pay more premiums, and that would counter his health risk and kind of balance the scale. But their argument is going to say for those folks who don't have health insurance, it creates a burden on the ones who are paying into it. So that's the reason for Obamacare or socialized
but why? But see, Jody, that illustrates the whole point. Why would it be creating a burden on other taxpayers if other taxpayers weren't obligated to pay for his Health insurance. I mean, it all goes back to the fact we've got this law that says an emergency room has got to treat everybody that shows up. We've taken that option away. Yeah.
That's where I was going to get to that point. I totally agree with you. I'm definitely not defending Obamacare.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You're making a good point.
My suggestion was going to what you're saying is, and there's no answer I don't believe that's going to please everybody, but I think a big solution would be if they would change the law and say we don't have to treat you if you don't have insurance.
Yeah, that would be up to the hospital administrators. They would all have some kind of a charity fund. People would donate to that because people want to help people that need medical care and don't have insurance, can't afford it. People would give to make something like that happen. And then the hospital could take care of as many people as that fund would provide for. Right now, they just have to eat it. They're obligated. It's just bad for everybody's health care. People have no reason to get insurance. They can just show up in the emergency room. All right, Sherry, Vincennes, Indiana. Sherry, I've got 15 seconds. You got something to say about the McDonald's McDouble cheeseburger?
Yes, just 15 seconds. I don't really have time, but I just, I think you have to be careful about what you're saying because, I mean, that obviously is not one of the most healthy, or the close to the healthiest foods you can eat. And I saw the article of the guy that wrote it that, it's high in protein, but it's also high in a lot of things that are not good, sodium and fat. And
I appreciate what you're saying, Sherry, and I'm not saying somebody ought to go out and make a diet exclusively of McDonald's McDouble cheeseburgers, but you got a percentage of your fiber needs, you got your protein needs, you got other needs that are taken care of, and it costs $1. Well, that's it for today. We will see you tomorrow. Don't forget, we're fighting a winnable war. See you tomorrow.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast